It takes me a certain amount of ego to do this job. I got to get up in the morning, I got to sit in the chair, I got to read the scripture, I got to think. If I don't, if I just sit like, I'm awareness, well, that's still a doer. That was one of Ramana Maharshi's egos, was sitting in silence. And people thought that was a special kind of spiritual doing, which, but I mean, he was sitting in silence, supposedly. The doer was apparently sitting in silence. But at the same time, Ramana knew he wasn't the one that was sitting there in silence. He knew, I'm the knower of the doer. So that cleared up? Yeah. No, but when you do karma yoga, there's going to be a resistance. Because I've said before that it's like a marquee advertising the presence of the doer, because the resistance to doing karma yoga is that you have to let go of this idea that you're in control. That's the ego that's the problem. Often when you do an action, then you do a whole bunch of other actions to see that one action works. To ensure, so it's like insurance. You do all these other actions to see that particular action goes through. Because what? You're so anxious about the results, you cannot just leave it up to Bhagawan. You want to keep manipulating the field, so that the result that you want comes back to you. And that's just a huge waste of energy and time. Because if you understand that you're awareness, it really doesn't matter in karma yoga. It really doesn't matter what you do or what comes to you. That's why he says in karma yoga, there's no effort is wasted and no bad results are produced. You don't waste any effort by doing karma yoga, and you don't produce any bad results, because every result's a good result. Because when I have that attitude, everything is cleaning my mind. I'm reducing my tendency to act and do and so forth and so on. My mind is becoming more and more empty and still, because I'm not fulfilling my likes and dislikes. I'm not pandering to my likes and dislikes, so they're going to burn up. Yeah, it's a tricky question, you see, because actually there's aham karta means I'm a doer. Aham bhokta means I'm an enjoyer. Well, those are thoughts operating in the subtle body. But aham karaha means the idea I have about being a doer. Karta means kara means notion. I'm sorry, not karta, but kara means a notion. So, like for example, if you have a monkey. Now the monkeys are most active things. They're totally active. They're doing like all the time. But monkeys don't think I'm doing, do they? They do without the idea that they're doing. They don't know that they're the self, and they don't know that Ishwar is causing them to do, but they have no notion that they're doing anything. Even though action happens all the time. They're just constantly busy. You hardly ever see a monkey that's asleep. Well, they do sleep. But even when they sleep, they're like almost completely alert all the time. So what does that show? That action's going to happen whether you think you're doing it or not, whether you know you're doing it or not. But with human beings, Like the guy in Morocco, the human being wants to take credit for the action. It's called the ownership. He wants to own the action and think, I am causing things to happen. It makes you feel important, it makes you feel powerful. So that's ahamkara. You think you're important and powerful. Oh, I'm allowing these people to drive away. I'm going like this and they're already driving away. But no, you go like this and you think, no, I'm letting them drive away. So that's the problem, is the notion that I have about doership. And that we call, that's loosely translated as ego. Ahamkara, kara means a notion, so that the doer can get these ideas about itself, whereas the pure doer, the simple doer, doesn't have an idea that he or she's doing. He knows that the body and mind are doing, but that I am just observing, I'm the one that's observing the action. And I'm not motivating the action because there's nothing for me to gain, because I'm complete. And I understand that there's some factor in me, we call that Ishvara, that's generating the action.